Hello Libra, welcome to my channel and welcome to 19. I hope that you have had a wonderful new year so far. I would also like to welcome Spirit into this reading and say thank you for the messages we are about to receive. This is a general reading for Libra from the 7th to the 13th of 19. Please don't forget to watch your moon and rising sign for a more complete picture. Now if you would like a personal reading that resonates more with you, then please go to our website to book the reading. And this is at jessmud.co.uk, or you can send me an email. And I put email details in the description box, so please contact me. And please note that these personal readings are not free. I have also put the decks that I'm using in the description box, and I've put in direct links to Amazon and eBay so that you can buy these decks. You just need to click on these links to get you to the site to have a look at the decks. And please don't forget to watch your 19 readings that I've put up into playlists for you, and those are love, work, and general reads, and it gives you a good synopsis of the year. And also don't forget to watch the deck review series that I'm doing as well. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to start off with the general energy read, and I'm using the answer deck for that, and then I will do the general tarot read after that. Okay, so you've got the heartbreak card over here. So you're going through a situation where you're having a lot of problems at the moment and you're crying along a lot about it. So it might be within your relationship itself. So you're very upset about it. You've got the solitude card over here. So you've been spending a lot of time by yourself, doing a lot of thinking as to what is going on within that relationship. And maybe you're trying to deal with this heartbreak. You want to move into the future, you want to leave everything behind, and you want to move forward. But you're spending a lot of time doing a lot of thinking as to how you're going to do that. So it seems like the person that you were dealing with was a brown-haired person, and they seem to be, not allowing you to come closer. This woman's got a hand up and saying, don't come any further, kind of thing. So maybe there was a breakdown of communication between you and this brown-haired person, and maybe you haven't been getting along at all. Maybe whatever she says you don't want to listen to, and whatever you say she doesn't want to listen to. So you're not really on speaking terms, or you're having difficulty communicating. You're trying to bring about a reconciliation, or you've been trying to bring about a reconciliation between you and this person. And maybe this has not been working, and this is why it's been caused. That's why this heartbreak is being caused. You're feeling very vulnerable going into the future. Maybe you feel like this person's got the upper hand and you don't know how to actually deal with this situation. And you've got talent card over here. So you might need to use some of your charms, and speak very, very nicely and very sweetly in order for you to get things, get the ball rolling or get that communication open. You can see there's music over here. So you might have to really think of a strategy, but also, try and make it look try and bring that romance back into that situation if it's a relationship problem that you're having. But you're going to have to think outside the box in order for you to get this situation sorted out. And also you're going to have to rely on your inner talents, maybe a talents of persuasion or being able to talk very nicely or be very charming in order to get this situation resolved. So these are the energies for that week. I'm using the Low Scarabeo deck, and you can get this deck on Amazon and eBay. I'll put the links in the description box. It's a very nice deck. It is a Rider-Waite deck, and it's got some really lovely imagery as well. So well worth going and having a look at it. Okay, so the main energies of the cards is the Hanged Man. And you can see that this person is trying to see things from a different point of view. There might be a lot of toxicity, a lot of the situation that is causing you to be at a standstill is a very toxic situation, because you can see this man is being hung up by a snake. So a lot of things have been going on. There's been a lot of lies and deceit going on, and it's not allowing you to move forward. So whatever is going on around you is a very toxic situation. And you feel like you're making a lot of sacrifices in this situation in order to get things going. But you're really at a standstill and feeling very, very tied up. And maybe all the lies and deceit and all the toxicity is the thing that is keeping you, stationary, stuck in that particular position and not being able to move. Or maybe you even feel like your world is really upside down because of all the toxicity, of all the nastiness that happened within it. So, you're trying to see it from a different point of view, but, you can't seem to move forward. So you're very, very much stuck in that situation, or things are not moving really for you. So you got the Seven of Swords over here, and it is crossed by the Seven of Cups. So you're, it seems like you're going to have to move away from that situation. It looks like you want to move away from it. You're planning on just abandoning everything, cutting your losses and going. It looks like there's a situation. There was a lot of lies and deceit, because this is the card of lies and deceit. And, things that were said that, that person didn't mean it. So it looks like things have been, you're going to have to just leave everything behind. This person's abandoning these two swords and taking what they want. So maybe you've been asked to leave that situation and just leave with your bare minimum. And it looks like that's what's going to be happening. And you're in a very confused state at the moment, because these are two cards of like real confusion. You don't really know what to do. With the Seven of Cups, it's not, although this is a card of options, it's a card of complete confusion as to where to go next, what to do next. You're at a complete loss as to how to actually make things change, or how to make things go for the better. You're not even seeing, even if something is going to be a good option for you, you won't even be able to see it, because you really are so confused and you really don't know what to do in this situation. You're at a complete loss. And it seems like the only thing to do is to just cut your losses and go and just move into something. And even if you do move, it's going to be like a move into something temporary, because these are all these tents I hear. These tents are not stable situations. So even if you move away from that situation, the situation that you go into is going to be a very temporary situation, and it's not going to be an easy move either, because there's no luxury in a tent. So wherever you go to, even if you abandon that situation, go to somewhere else, it's not going to be any easier in that new situation that you go to. So you're, in a very, very difficult situation right now. And maybe this is why you're at a standstill. You don't want to do anything right now. You can't do anything because, if you make that move, you're moving almost like from the frying pan into the fire, as the saying goes. So you're in a very, very difficult, precarious situation at this particular moment. Now, in this last year, you've got the Strength card. So you've had a very, very difficult situation that you've been trying to sort out. And you've been using the best of your charms to try and get things done, or try and get the situation under control. You really have been trying very, very hard. You can see this woman's down on her knees. So, you've almost been, bending over backwards, if you like, to try and get that situation sorted out. And it has been very, very hard. Sometimes things are going your way and sometimes they don't. You've been really trying to control it, trying to make sure that it doesn't get out of control. It seems like it may have gotten or be getting out of control, because you're reaching this point where, you're in complete confusion as to what to do next. And you're having to leave the situation quite suddenly, suddenly having to move out of that situation without any prior notice, if you like. This person's almost sneaking off in the night. So maybe, maybe you come home one night and you have to leave that particular situation. So it's something that's going to happen that suddenly. Now, you are quite independent. In this last few months, you have been, you've got a good job. You are quite financially independent. You're managing to earn enough money to make ends meet, but you're spending a lot of time by yourself, and you're spending a lot of time focused on your work as well in this last few months. So you are been putting in extra hours, maybe working really, really hard at your job to try and get things done, get things sorted out, pay the bills. And you are taking the load responsibility as well in that situation. Now, what's in your mind? You've got the Empress. It looks like, you could be dealing with somebody who is pregnant at this particular moment. Or you could be, hoping. This is also a card of hope, hoping that things will improve and get better, hoping that, you'll be able to get abundance as well. But, this could well be that this might be somebody that you're dealing with who is pregnant at this particular moment. Now, what's happening going to the future? You've got the Nine of Wands over here. So there's a lot of arguments and fights and battles going on. So if this is in a relationship, it looks like, there might be a point of, where you're needing to abandon that relationship because of all the problems that are going on. And with this Nine of Rods over here, it looks like there's a lot of arguments going on. There's one of the rods on fire. So, you might be dealing with a fire sign person. with this Rod's card. It could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And, you're having a lot of arguments and fighting. You're trying to get control of that situation. You're just barely managing to do it. And, you're tired of all this battle, tired of all this fighting that is going on. And, you're just about managing to get things under control. And you're very defensive as well. You're trying to stand your ground. So what's happening with you? You've got the Temperance card over here. So you are trying to get rid of things. You're trying to find that balance again in your life. And you're trying to get rid of those negative emotions or negative feelings or negative situations that are going on around you, or, trying to bring about balance again, trying to make things work. You really are trying to make things work. You're trying to compromise. The Temperance card is a card about compromise. You're trying to, make sure that everything works and goes according to plan. So you're trying to remedy the situation and make things better. And, you're trying to take the middle ground where you're not being overly emotional. Like I said, you're trying to find that compromise in order to make things worse, to make things work so that things don't get any worse. If the saying is putting oil over the waters, you're trying to remedy that situation at this particular moment, bring about healing. So what's going on around you? It seems like you've got the Six of Wands over here. Maybe the person that you're dealing with is the person that's winning this particular battle that you're fighting. They've got the Victory card over here. So this is what's going on with somebody around you. And, they are looking really good. Maybe you are the one that's looking like you have the problem. And they are looking as though, they're coming up smelling of roses. So you're dealing with somebody who is, getting victory over the situation. But it's not you. It's the other person. And they seem to be winning this particular battle. You seem to be fighting. These cards are next to each other. So you seem to be a person who is getting all the problems, and, you are tired and worn out. This is the wounded warrior, somebody who is just, you don't even have the strength to fight anymore. And this person is coming out looking like, they're very victorious and everybody's admiring them and ignoring you. This person is standing alone. So it seems like you're being isolated from that situation, and that person is getting all the glory and the victory out of it, and everybody's admiring that person. So whoever you're dealing with seems to be coming across looking as though they're the victim and they're the one that is winning, and you are coming across as looking as being the bad person, or the person who is doing all the nastiness in the situation. So it looks like they're winning and you're not. It looks like they're coming across looking as though everybody's got the sympathy for them rather than you. So you've got the Queen of Swords over here. You're trying to get back your power, trying to take back control. The Queen of Swords is your card. You're trying to find your inner strength, and you're trying to cut out things that are not serving you anymore. Maybe you're trying to move away from this person. Take a stand for what you believe in. And maybe you're worried that, if you do that, things are going to escalate into something even worse. So you are trying to get back your power. You're trying to speak your truth. You're trying to stand your ground. You're trying to make sure that you're being heard. And you're afraid that you're not. So going into the future, you've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and you've got the Queen of Cups. So with the Eight of Pentacles, maybe you have now decided that you're going to spend your time and focus on your work. With the Eight of Pentacles, it's just really getting down, putting your head down and just doing a lot of work in order to make that money, in order to, to get that prosperity, learning on the job. So maybe there's some sort of promotion coming up for you, but it seems like you've decided that you will spend all your time and focus on your work. And, to get you distracted from the situation that's going on, it seems like that's what you're going to do. You're going to focus on your work. Now, you're going to be communicating with a lot of people. You might be doing some international travel with this Three of Wands card, but it's also a lot of communications and networking and speaking to people from across the world, getting messages, receiving messages. But, with this job, you've learned new skills with this job that you're doing, and it's going to allow you to network with a lot of people, and that is how you're going to bring in a lot more money. So maybe this is what you've decided to do. Maybe this whole situation has arisen because of financial need, and now if you focus on your work and network a lot more, that is going to be something that's going to bring in more projects and bring in more money. But you could also be dealing with somebody who is very depressed. This could be you feeling very left out, lonely, cold. Maybe you want to make a big change. You've got the stork over here, feeling depressed because this woman's looking at this cup and reevaluating what is going on in her emotional life. So maybe you are looking at this relationship and wondering whether or not it is worth continuing in this way, because it is making you feel very lonely and very depressed. You could also be dealing with a depressed person, and this could be the person that is also causing problems within this relationship. But it seems for the most part, you are going to be focusing on your work in order for you to, get over this depression and feeling, so miserable. So it looks like you're going to be focusing on your work in order to get over any kind of misery that you're feeling at this particular moment. So right now you're dealing with a very difficult situation, not knowing really which way to go, which way to turn. It looks like you might end up leaving it. You're standing your ground for what it's worth, trying to defend yourself, but you're just about barely holding that situation together, and you're stuck at the moment because you don't know really what to do. You really are stuck. You've got the Seven of Cups over here, which is talking about being really stuck and not knowing which way to go. You're trying to remedy the situation with the Temperance card. You're trying to make things better, but it looks like the other person is coming across looking as though they're victorious and you are not. So it seems like you might decide, to just focus on your work, just ignore that whole situation and just focus on your work. But it is having quite a big effect on you emotionally, and you are feeling rather lonely and feeling rather depressed. Let's see what these oracle cards have got to say. I'm using the Wolf Pack oracle deck today. Let's see what they've got to say. So you've got cleansing. This card indicates letting go of the past, going through the process of self-cleansing and self-awareness. The inner knowledge develops, bringing in a new outlook, a new beginning. So it looks like you might end up abandoning that situation and moving on towards a new beginning, just letting go of that situation and moving on to something different. And the second card is balance. You might find it difficult to maintain an emotional balance because of someone or something in your life creating obstacles, a need for change or realignment. So this says you need to actually find some kind of balance in your life and a need to realign emotionally. And you need to change, get out of that situation, move away from it. And at this time, a battle with a loved one or friend could indicate a struggle in career or a job may lead to an ending. Counseling be needed, possibly a battle with oneself, seeking peace through prayer and meditation. So it looks like this situation between you and the other person is escalating, and you all might need some kind of counseling, or you might just need to just walk away from that situation in order for you to resolve it. It seems like you are almost at equal footing as far as fighting with this person goes, and it seems like it's getting a bit out of control at this particular moment. And you need to maybe end that situation by moving away from it. So it's very negative, and maybe you need to move away from this situation, focus on your work, get yourself back again in line with who you are, find your emotional footing again, bring about healing to yourself rather than worrying about the other person, because it looks like you're very tired of all this fighting that has been going on. So it might be a good time for you to actually start moving, thinking about yourself and moving on with your life, making a stand for what you want. You are quite financially independent, and you can cope by yourself. So you might need to actually just move away from that situation and look after yourself first. Or you try, and remedy a situation that looks like it's going nowhere. So I hope that this reading has resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments if it has. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Good.